Hello, 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 and welcome to today's broadcast. I have a great episode planned for you today. I have notes here. I want to give you the wake up call you need. Again, today's episode is called The Wake Up Call You Need. Before I get started, though, I want to give you some context behind what inspired today's um, stream. And it is the fact that if you are still watching this on a particular time, it's supposed to go out on Monday. So if you're watching this on Monday, Cyber Monday, there is an offering that's going to be able to help you to get unstuck. So while you're listening to today's broadcast, I want you to think about how you show up in your life and how you have continuously allowed yourself to play in a space of feeling complacent or settling instead of really going after something that it is that you really want, or maybe even just making the changes that you know that you want to make each day, each moment, each hour, each year, each month. That you don't move where your heart is telling you to move is a year that you continue to deteriorate, because while you stay the same or stagnant or stuck, the world is still moving forward, which makes the situation worse and worse and worse the more that you put off doing what it is that you need to do. So for Black Friday, I came up with specific offers depending on where you are in your transformation. I'm going to go over those quickly. I don't want that to detract you from listening to this episode, because for some of you, you do need to hear this. This is the wake up call that you need to hear so you can get inspired, get motivated, get moving, and start doing the things that you really want to do. Number one offer is for those of you that struggle with negative self talk. That is the negative voice in your head. And we give it a bunch of names. We give it a lack of confidence, a lack of self love. We call it things like imposter syndrome. But all of those are rooted in this inability to love yourself, to forgive yourself, to look at yourself positively, to give yourself grace, all of those type of things. And if you are in that particular part of your transformation where you just need to do some inner work in order to be able to show up in your career, in life, and all of the things a little bit more whole, then the first offer is a bundle. And this bundle of classes is going to teach you how to move past that negative energy that you generate inside of yourself internally. But then also, there's a live masterclass that will be happening soon, and you will be able to participate in that live masterclass where I will teach you also how to deal with the negative energy that may be around you from the people in your life, or an environment that might be a little negative. Maybe your work environment is negative. So that would be offer number one. Most excited about offer number two. Offer number one is great. And the self love class, I did that live last summer. It was phenomenal. I wish you could go back and look in all of my I think at the time I was still branded as Yoshika's Intuition. So if you want to go look back at the results that the participants got from that class, go back and watch it. It was powerful. So it was around last summer. Okay, so offer number two is great, because when you hear me talking about you getting the wake up call that you need, you're going to, maybe if you're like any of my other clients, think, well, I tried to change on my own, it doesn't work, and you give up on yourself. Or you start off strong and then you end up fizzling out. And so you end up trying to make change, but you just can't seem to make it stick. There is science to making change stick. And so I've created a New Year, New You 8-week transformational group coaching program where I will not only teach you what it takes to actually understand how to change, understand how to make the change stick, understand how to set goals, all of the things. You will also have my support and guidance to help you get over the hump where statistically you end up giving up on yourself. So that by the time we get through our 8 weeks together, you should, if you can just devote yourself with my support, you get coaching, mentoring, accountability, all of that, people in the group that are trying to do the same thing. If you could devote yourself to this process, this simple process for 8 weeks, you're going to see that you have created some lasting internal change in your life. So, 8 weeks is a small amount of time to make a change. And the difference here is you're not relying on your own power and willpower and momentum and all of that. You are learning how to be in the energy of a group with a coach that can help you make changes faster, better, all the things so that you're actually collapsing the time and hardwiring, coding in the things that you need to do to actually start the year off right and make it stick. So that's the second offer. Now, for some of you, you may be like me. Sometimes you do want to be in a group coaching program, and sometimes you just want the help and support of a coach that you could just have all to yourself. So, I have two little baby coaching offers for you, especially if you've never been in a larger coaching container like a 12-week coaching program. You can either do 1 month of coaching, and it's very self-explanatory. You have one-on-ones. I support you for a month, and then we also can text and send messages via uh, a voice app called Voxer. So if that sounds like some support that you want to try, maybe even if you just want to see is coaching the right thing for you before you make a big investment in a bigger package, then that third offer for you will be for you. And then the fourth offer is if maybe, you're doing good, you're moving forward for the most part, but there's just this one thing that is just kind of eating away at you, and you just want help and advice and eyes on that particular problem to help you move forward. Then there's a thing that you can try called a strategy session where you bring to the table one issue. You and I go through that issue. I help coach you, advise you, move over the hump, give you some action plans and strategies to help you move forward. So if that's something you want to try, then that is available to you as well. There's only a few hours left, so if you are interested in this deal, then you need to take advantage of it. Otherwise, the prices for the offer one, offer three with the 1 month of coaching, and then the fourth offer with the strategy session, those all go away. The price for the New You, New Year group coaching program will go up dramatically. And so if you want to get in on that at almost, or maybe over 50% off, then this is your time. Almost everything has a payment plan. So there's really no excuses. So anyway, enough about all the Cyber Monday, Black Friday stuff. Let's get into the meat of today's broadcast, which is here is the wake up call you need. And like I said, I took notes because what I'm finding is that people are coming to me for help when they're in a position where things have gotten so bad. It's almost like they're at rock bottom. They can't take their life anymore. They can't take their career anymore. The leadership is really getting to them. They're getting burned out, stressed out, quitting their career that they've had for decades or wanting to quit. Instead of pushing pause for a minute and being honest about the fact that you aren't where you want to be. And sometimes, even though you can recognize and witness that you're not where you want to be by the things that are going on externally, there's some internal work and reflection that needs to happen. And a lot of times, either that happens too late or is done incorrectly. So the insights that you get all point back to all of these things that are going wrong in your life, and you feel stuck and you feel like you can't move forward. And so you give up or you stop and you start or whatever. No matter how you react to this, you're not proactively doing what it is that you need to do to actually move forward. You're denying yourself your happiness. You're denying yourself, if it's something with your career, more money, more financial stability, more abundance. If it's something to do with relationships, you're denying yourself peace and happiness or all of the things because you don't believe that things can be better, or at this current point in time, you say that this is not the right time to make the changes, which is so self-righteous to me. Like you're promised tomorrow, you're promised another day, and so you think you could put it off. Like you're supposed to be living life in the fullest, all of that type of stuff. So anyway, Here we go. So I'm going to deal particularly with those of you that know that you need to change. You need to change some areas you could think about your connection with yourself. Do you know yourself? Do you know what you want? Do you have clarity around your values and things? And do you honor those when it comes to what you witness on your exterior world with your relationships, your environments, etc.? Maybe your health. For some of you, it's your health. And health can be mind, body, and soul. But if you look in the mirror or you really start to examine your mindset, yeah, maybe things aren't crumbling away because you've learned how to cope with a certain type of paradigm or a certain type of health habit for a long time. But that doesn't mean that it's on point, or your spiritual connection, whatever you believe in, your relationships, your more intimate relationships. So, relationships could be family, friend, work professionals, all of the things. Things like that, your finances, could they be better? You know, sometimes when we're in the roles that we're in, we do make good money, but what are you doing with that money? Is it working for you? Are you honoring it? That type of thing. And if you start to examine these different areas of your life and you know that you're not where you want to be, then this is your wake up call to do better, to be better, to try a better way. Um, and so, for those of you that think you can put it off, or instead of wanting to do the work, you lie and say that you're happy where you are when you know that you're not, things could be better. I want you to think about how you doing the same old every day, while you may not see the immediate consequences of those actions. Remember that life works in a compounding type of interest. So these little things that seem small today compound into bigger problems in the future. And by you thinking that you don't have the time or the space or the place to be able to do what it is that you need to do right now, or whatever excuse you have, what you really are doing is distracting yourself from doing the work, distracting yourself from the problem at hand. Because with your 24 hours in a day, I'm pretty sure that you have the resource and the ability to devote some time that it is that needs to happen for you to be wherever it is that you want to be. So if you feel stuck, if you lack clarity, if you feel like you're not moving forward, or if you feel like you have these secret dreams that you know, like if you could have your ideal life made and wave a magic wand, and you know that the life that you really want is not the life that you're living now, not even close, not even moving in that direction, then there is definitely some things that you could do today. But I want you to be honest with yourself to recognize that you're not engaging in activities that can start to move you and pull you in that direction, because what you've chosen to do is adopt these activities that I'm going to call them like distractors, mind numbing activities, fillers, which you think are not a big deal, but they are, because every time that you fill a space, an hour, a minute, a second, with something that is mind numbing, that is not important, video games, Netflix shows, chilling on the couch, eating crappy food. The list goes on and on. Not working efficiently could be a distractor. All of those things, then you start to see how you are actually not in alignment with what it is that you desire. And so what you are truly doing, even if you want to change, is you're pushing yourself further into this rut of stuckness, of not moving forward, of not making the changes that you want, of having this lack of clarity about where you want to be in the future. And you actually make the problem worse. So while you may feel like you're on a hamster wheel at work, not getting what it is that you want to get out of that, or in life, you are perpetuating this inability to climb yourself up out of a hole and start to really move forward in your life, because of the fact that instead of working with a coach, instead of stopping and evaluating what it is that you need to change about your life and actually taking the baby steps to move in that direction, you are choosing to fill your day, your life, your minutes, your time with things that are mind numbing or distractions, escapism, all of the things. I see it all. Um, and the other issue is when you look at your day, so you want to change, even if you're not going to say it out loud, deep down in your heart, there's an area that you want to change, and you know that you're not really putting in the work. Maybe you just don't know what the work is, right? But I'm just going to say, for better or for worse, you're not putting in the work to change. And then you are perpetuating this cycle that I just talked about. Now, also think about the fact that most of the time, every day, internally you have the same thoughts pretty much every day. Most of the thoughts, if you're not doing the work internally, is negative. And negative doesn't mean that it has to be a bad thought. It could just mean that it's not a thought of growth. It's not a thought of moving you forward. It's not a thought of expansiveness. So you have that piece that doesn't change every day. But also, for the most part, we do the same thing every single day. So I know I'm a pretty regimented person. Even if I think I'm being spontaneous, for the most part, my days are filled with some of the same activities every day. So think about the activities that you're doing every day. Not only are you internally this same person, this version of yourself that you don't want to be every single day, but you're also compounding that by also doing the same thing day after day. And so if you are skeptical of what I'm telling you, or you are skeptical of your ability to make a change, or think that you can do what it is that you want, or you're skeptical to really admit to yourself and be honest to yourself that you want life to be different, one of the things that you can look at is your daily routine and your activities and see if they support clarity, connection to some of those areas that I talked about, like the money, the career, all of those things, and how you want those things to look, and so on and so forth. And I bet what you're going to find is evidence and proof that no, you're not stuck. You do want things to change. You just are not doing your part to make things change. So you can even do an evaluation or an audit where you actually write these things down and see if you can identify what it is that you don't like, or I mean, what it is that you do every day. So I'm gonna quickly, I don't like these to be too long. I'm gonna quickly give you an example. For instance, before I started to do the work that I did, it wasn't that I wasn't doing anything that wouldn't move me forward, right? So let's say I went to work, then I went to school, then I came home, then I cooked dinner, then I got ready for the next day. Maybe I read a little bit, maybe I watched TV, then I went to bed, went to sleep, got up, did the same thing over and over again. But let's say that my values were, I wanted to be someone that was a lifelong learner. I wanted to be someone that gave back to the world. I wanted to be someone that was on point with my health. I wanted to be someone that dressed better. Like, let's just pick those activities. If we look at the way that my day is spent, it's not that I'm doing anything that is inherently wrong, but I'm not including fitness. I'm not really, y aside from school to get a promotion or to get a degree, I'm not really pouring myself into learning things that are gonna align with what it is that I want from my values, um, as a human being, and a lot of times we get those mixed up. Yeah, you're gonna get the education when you know that there's a reward to get money, but are you educating yourself in order to be a person that is in alignment with the clarity and the vision and the values that you see for your personal life outside of all of the stuff that you have attained or would like to attain? Do you see what I'm saying? So once you start to really think about, yes, you feel stuck, or you need to make changes and you don't, so you lack momentum, you lack an ability to move forward on and take action on the things that you know that you should, then you can be a little bit more honest and say that you know what it is that you need to do. You're not stuck. You don't not know what to do. You just choose not to do it. And it doesn't matter if you pretty it up and say, call it something else. At the end of the day, it's still going to be an excuse, no matter if you think it's valid or not. And so, this wake up call that I want to share with you is about not identifying the reasons why something is not occurring, why you're not making the changes, why you're settling for less than you know that you want. It's about you finally identifying that you are a participant in this feeling of being stuck and stagnant and in a position or a situation that you don't want, or not moving toward what it is that you do want. And so that means that, guess what? All of the things that you are indulging in by choice are also a choice for you to be out of alignment with what it is that you really want. So this episode has become long enough in its own right, but I hope that it's enough information for you to start to really think about making this year a opportunity, or taking this opportunity to make this year, this upcoming year, a time where you finally invest in yourself, invest in growth, invest in expansion, invest in moving forward, invest in not continuing to lie and say that everything is okay when you know that deep down it's really not okay. Because there is an opportunity for you to take out one of these distractors or take out one of these excuses and to replace it with something that's really going to make a difference and really going to make a change in your life. And all it takes is for you to be honest with this feeling of stuckness and lack of clarity, get help with actually setting a system in place to move forward, and actually do the work to move forward in a place where you feel supported and where you feel elevated and where you feel like you, even if you don't have the power and the discipline to do it for yourself, you know that with help and support and somebody that believes in you when you don't believe in yourself, that things can still happen. So again, if you're watching this on Cyber Monday of 2022, then you have a few more hours left to get any of those offers that I talked about at a discounted price that will help support you in some of these changes that I'm speaking of. And specifically, if you happen to not have caught this, the New Year, New You price, we start January of 2023 and we go through to the beginning of March. If you still want to join that program, although the price will have went up, I still encourage you to get inside of this container because it's going to make making the changes much easier. And what you'll understand is that making a decision to invest in yourself and move forward is so small, that it's so small, but it's so powerful, and the world just opens up to conspire to help you move forward from you making that one little decision to change your life. All right, so the information to join should be somewhere with this video, and I will see you in our next broadcast. Take care. Bye.